Hey, don't mind my mic. Welcome to Intuit-TV. Okay, welcome to Intuit-TV, the show where there is nothing off limits. On here, we finna rip it open and get into it. The good, the great, the hideous, and the wonderful. The ugliest too. We're gonna talk about all of it. Nothing and nobody, honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and say nobody is safe, but it's a very safe space. But if you hiding something, or not even if you hiding something, those parts of you that you don't want to look at, that's what we're getting into. Matter of fact, specifically this first episode, I wanted to talk about being the villain. Let's get for real. Being the villain. Okay? So the reason why I wanted to start this podcast is because I wanted to share myself, my light, my wisdom, my love, my joy. I'm somebody, if you know me, you know, I am a very joyful person. I am very outgoing, out loud. I am very joyful. I'm very fun. I'm somebody who, I've always been like that too. My personality has always been something that has been very vibrant. We're going to use vibrant as the word. Very vibrant because it's always been like that. And I have learned a lot. I have learned so much in the mistakes that I have made, and the fun that I've had, and the things that I've done. I just have learned so much. And honestly, I think at this point that it's something to share. It's something, honestly, it's just something fun to do too. This is just fun. Why not get cute, get dolled up, sit in front of the camera and just talk? Sounds like me, so that's what we're doing. If you're with it, hey. Some of you may know I did have a podcast before this. It was called F It, and I did it with my homegirl. Unfortunately, homegirl has left, but it's okay. It's fine. It gave me the platform. I got the plan. We're making another platform now, cause might as well, you know, might as well, I guess, guys, might as well. So, first things first, okay, the villain. I don't necessarily mean you should be out here doing bad things. I don't mean you should, you know, be crafting maniacal plans and creating doomsday devices and shit. It's not what I'm talking about. You can do that. I support that too. I ain't gonna lie. I feel that. I would do that. If I knew how to do it, I would dead ass. Like, but that's because I'm very comfortable. And I'm not very comfortable. I'm getting more and more comfortable with being the villain. For a long time, my personality, because it is so big, it has come with people in general just trying to dampen it. You know, keep it down, keep it quiet. And I'm not doing that shit no more. What I mean by being the villain, you gotta honor all parts of yourself. Honor your anger, honor your pain, honor all that you've been through. There are pieces of you that is, I know for me, there are pieces of me that are quite angry. Very angry. Who don't have nice things to say. A lot of times I don't have nice shit to say. I don't have nothing nice to say. Sometimes, I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's a good thing to wish bad on your enemies. You shouldn't do that, guys. You shouldn't wish bad on your enemies. You shouldn't think of all the ways that they can rule the day. But sometimes you just do, and it is what it is. Sometimes that's just how things go. That's just how you feel sometimes. And I know that you should let go and forgive. I feel like you will never forget, but you should always forgive. But that in itself is a journey that looks different for every single person. I'm still figuring it out myself. Does my forgiveness mean that I just let it go? Does it mean that I don't wish bad on this person? Does it mean that I just kind of don't think about them? I just don't think that's how it works. That's impossible. I don't know. Maybe it's not impossible. I don't know. I'm working on forgiveness for a lot of things. It's people from middle school I still slap the shit out of to this day. To this day. I ain't that, you know. But it's been so many times in my life where I chose to be the people pleaser, where I chose to be quiet, even though I have such a big personality, to the point where it's honestly one of my regrets sometimes that I did not chump that person off at the very least. I think being the villain isn't so much about being evil as it is about recognizing that you do got, I ain't gonna say evil parts in you, but you have pieces of you that are not presentable to the public, that is not nice, that is not kind. Nobody is like that. If you are denying parts of yourself in a way. Even if you know other people don't got to see it. I'm not saying that that's something that has to be known about you, that you have that side to you. Excuse me, I just burped a little bit. I'm not saying that has to be seen by everybody. You should be telling people how you like. You don't have to do that. That's rude. Sometimes you probably should, but it's rude that you don't. Sometimes certain things don't need to be, But you should at least, I feel like one of my main, this is something that I do, period. All emotions fly when I'm in the four walls of my bedroom. Wherever my safe space is, all emotions are allowed to go. All actions aren't allowed to go. You shouldn't do everything that you think about doing in those emotional states. But I am always going to be a safe space for my emotions. So if today I feel like I hate you, I'm not going to tell you I hate you, and I ain't going to do nothing out of hate or spite for you. But I'm gonna feel every ounce of that rage. I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna allow it to run free when I'm in my safe space. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say it doesn't control my actions, but it is honored in my actions. These feelings will always be honored in my actions. I have gotten to the point where denying those things has left me feeling pissed off with so many things, so many people that I love. I find myself feeling this resentment, this fire towards them, and it's like, I ain't wrong for feeling that way. I'm not wrong. I don't care. I'm not wrong for feeling that way. But it's a matter of, if I would have handled it and honored it in that moment and carried it, like, I wouldn't be here right now, or at least I wouldn't feel this way about them. So that's what we're getting into today. I feel like my personality has put me in the position where I learned a lot about platonic romantic relationships. I learned a lot from my relationships. It teaches me balance. It teaches me balance. Yeah, it definitely teaches me balance. It teaches me how to, I learned a lot about how to carry myself and how to carry how I feel and how to carry the compassion that I have when it comes down to a lot of things. I have been told before, like, I put a lot of value in my relationships, and I do. But the main thing is that you can't value nothing or nobody more than you value yourself. They should never put you in no sort of compromising position. But when you don't honor that anger, when you don't honor your pain, you deny it, you find yourself in, like, predicaments where it's like, how the fuck did I get here? You know what I mean? How did I get here? Like, why do I feel like this so strongly? Why do I feel this anger, this rage, this desire to destroy things so bad? It's because you wasn't honoring how you feel. Like, why do it? Like, when you want to knock things over, if you honor, I'm the kind of person that I feel a lot of emotions maybe after the fact. Sometimes I'm not really present in my emotions, and so it leaves me with a lot of leftovers. Food tastes better fresh, okay? Most of the time. I'm not opposed to cold food sometimes. Me personally, that's why I be going back and cussing you hoes out sometimes for old things. Well, I don't. But that's why I find myself honoring emotions. I don't cuss people out. Oh shit. Not like that. Not like how I just said it. It's more so like I do it when the emotion comes up, when it arises, I am sure to make sure that I take care of that. You know what I mean? Like, the next time that comes up, I'm gonna be sure I handle that. I'm gonna be sure I clock that. I'm gonna make sure that this don't happen repeatedly. Let me start off with, your negative emotions, quote unquote negative emotions, are not bad. There is no good and bad. There is only it. Everything just exists. Good and bad is relative to the person, okay? Sometimes what you perceive as bad is the best thing that could happen to you. I've noticed that happens very often. What I mean by that, especially when it comes down to emotions and how you carry things and how you handle your feelings, especially when it comes down to other people and their actions, or especially just when it comes down to like when you feel like the desire to knock everything over. It's important that you honor those feelings because your emotions are a lot of the times your compass. Disclaimer, this is not for people with emotional, I ain't trying to say like emotional disorders, but like, you know, you shouldn't take action off these emotions, okay? You shouldn't just take action purely off of emotion. Of course, you should not do that. But as a human, I don't think, you know, logic is great. Very, very, very great. But I just don't, nobody has the perfect logic, I don't think. I think that most people, maybe it's just me, but your emotions should have some influence. Your logic, your equation for logic should add on and should include emotions in the equation. That should also be in there. These things are very complementary. The good and the bad are two parts of one whole. They go together. You can't have one, experience one without experiencing the other. Period. So with that being said, in order for you to be the hero who does the right thing, honor the villain too. It puts you deeper into that hero. It makes you even hero. We're going to quote unquote hero. Because, I don't know, we're our own hero, our own villain. When we don't honor our emotions, our own villain is specifically, we're specifically hurting ourselves when we don't honor those feelings of like discomfort or of anger. That's what tells you to get up and move and get the fuck on. That's what tells you when you need to hold somebody accountable. That's what tells you this person cannot treat me like this, because as you know, you teach people how to treat you. It's up to you. You set the standard. You set the. As somebody who took a really long time and a way to figure this out, what's my curriculum for these people? It took me a while, and I'm still figuring it out to this day. Trying to figure out what flies and what does not fly. Because for a long time, I was a people pleaser. If you're a people pleaser and you're watching, I get this feeling, I'm making this video for people pleasers specifically. If you're a people pleaser and you see this, you got to cut that shit. I can't lie to you. You gotta cut that. It is a disease. Quite literally, it is a disease that will rot everything going. You won't have no identity if you find yourself always people pleasing, because people are always going to have a say. It's always going to be something. Hence me making this podcast, because I'm trying to get out of worrying about what people got to say, because y'all don't even like yourselves, let alone could y'all possibly like me. Y'all don't even be liking yourselves. And that's real. I ain't mad at you for not liking yourself, but you won't make me miserable with you. That be y'all problem. Y'all be miserable as hell and want somebody else to be miserable with you. And not y'all problem, of course. If you watching this, maybe you might be trying to, you know, not be the problem. But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of times that you, in fact, should be the problem. You should make people uncomfortable. I mean, you should make people, when it comes down to you, it shouldn't be no kind of, you should make other people uncomfortable. Don't hold nothing back. Don't try to, when you feel discomfort, it should not be your immediate reaction to make other people more comfortable. This is something that I noticed really, really bad in women. I watched this video. It was like a study on women. It is very often that we are raised to be people pleasers. A lot of women are, especially black women, we're raised to be, you know, keep it cool, keep it calm, stay the neutral tone. When being neutral, sometimes that don't do nothing for you. It leaves everything in gray. Things need to be black, things need to be white, things need to be different. Sometimes that middleman, that, well, I think I'm okay. I'm okay with that, even though you know you hate that. Yeah, that's gotta go. It has to go. Mind you, I'm talking to myself, y'all. I'm literally talking to my. Is this thing recording? What the fuck? Oh, it's recording. Is it? Oh. I thought I ain't pressed record, y'all. I thought I ain't pressed record. I got scared. I got terrified. Yeah. I hope it's recording this far, or otherwise I'm gonna be so sad. But yes, y'all, it is so seriously a matter of just being real. Being real doesn't look like anything. Like, being your most authentic self shouldn't exactly look too much like anybody else. It just shouldn't look, not too much. It should always be, you know, your own lane. I really think that half the problem with people is their desire to be liked by everybody, and that leaves you as this watered down, boiled chicken ass person. It don't taste good, it's flavorless, it's boring. I have learned so far, just by watching and seeing, from what I've noticed, it ain't by being this kind and good, always agreeable person. That ain't how you get what you want. It ain't how you get remembered. It ain't nothing like that. That's not how it's gonna work. I've noticed, unfortunately, in this world that we live in, negativity is the first thing that comes up. It's the easiest vibration to come by. When people remember you, sometimes that's why bad news travels faster than good news. Good vibes and good, always nice and cool vibration, you know, that's great. That is great. But not without the added balance of being willing to be disagreeable, to go against the grain, to stand up, to go against, really. They're always more remembered. Like, I don't know, they always have some sort of claim to fame. Like, they always got something. People who are known, there is always a good old balance of people who hate them and people who love them. And the people who are for you are naturally going to be okay with this whole version of you. The you that has to sit in the seat of being the bad guy. The you that is normally the good guy. The people who are for you are just going to get it. It ain't going to be, they don't want the boiled chicken. Nobody wants boiled chicken. Nobody wants boiled chicken, okay? You don't want that. I'm not saying that the people around you are just going to want you. Maybe that means that you should get out and get better and get out, you know. I've noticed that me coming my most authentic self has come with a lot of friendships ending. A lot of them. Hella, like, I'm not going to lie, a lot of the friendships that I've been in, I'm in the process of rebuilding I ain't rebuilding that, of building a new community for myself, to be honest with y'all. A lot of the people who were closest to me, the more and more I became myself, the more and more I got comfortable with being the villain, the more of their asses is gone. And that don't mean I don't love them, that don't mean, you know, no weirdness or nothing, but what it does mean is, I've now decided to honor the part of me that wasn't getting the proper love, the proper spotlight that it needed in order for me to properly maintain these relationships in the way that honors the real, the me, that honors the whole me. Denying that villain side of you, on God, it don't do nothing but put you in predicaments that you don't want to be in. It leaves you losing money. It leaves you losing hoes. It leaves you not losing hoes, but you know, it just leaves you out of stuff. Like, honestly, you find yourself feeling like, damn, I done left everything and all this stuff. It all looks better. Like, since I've come into that thing, it's gotten better. And now I feel desolate. I feel like I've just lost. Like it's an investment with no sort of payback. It wasn't ever, never was it gonna pay you back. It just wasn't, okay? And the truth is, it's like, I talk about some losing hoes. Fuck these hoes, okay? You're gonna lose people. It is what it is. You're gonna, like, everybody is constantly going through stages of death and rebirth. And honestly, if you aren't, you on this podcast, and that's what we're gonna start doing, babe. It's time to start shedding versions of you that is holding back. It is what it is. If you're here today, the message is to honor the whole you. Period. That's it. That's all. It doesn't mean that you should be out here just like, it does not mean that you should just be destroying shit or harming people. I feel like being the most authentic you, it shouldn't necessarily harm people. I don't think. I'm still learning, so don't quote me, because in a way it's gonna make people uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be in the way that it's like, you hurt me, it shouldn't be in that, you know. I don't think it should be like that either. But you know, I feel like I don't have too much to say on this. I don't know. You know, I feel like there's a lot to be talked about with that. And I feel like it's so much to be talked about. Or it's more to be learned up under that, because I feel like in a way I'm just now getting into this myself. Like being the villain, I'm just now getting there. And I think that's what I want this podcast to be for, to be honest. I want it to be for people who are on the journey. It's a lot of people who are like already in line, already know. This not for your ass. I ain't gonna lie. You still need to be open to learning. I believe that people can master things. I believe that people can be masters. But I don't think you should ever close yourself off to learning something new or being open to something different. And I feel like that's why masters are always learning from their students. They're always learning because it's a fresh mind. It's something new to the table. So, you know, I ain't trying to say like I wish bad on people. Sometimes, y'all, I've been thinking of the most gruesome shit happening to people who have done me wrong. I be thinking about horrible things happening to people. I be thinking about beating their ass. I be thinking about taking them out. I can't do that or nothing for it. I ain't gonna do that. Can't do that. But it's a matter of, I wouldn't feel this way again if I had honored if I had chosen to honor how I felt. I wouldn't feel this kind of rage, like this tension in my body, this desire to. It's made me want to radically be myself, though. That's one thing that I can't say about it. It has left me feel I want to radically be myself. I want to do it in a way that I want to make people feel great. I feel like my personality is about I make people feel good, joyful, feel the vibes, the fun. But that shit ain't free. It comes at the cost of respecting me. It comes at the cost of my boundaries. It comes at the cost of, you know, you're gonna fuck with me properly if we're gonna be around each other. You're gonna do it the right way. I don't believe in unconditional love unless you got kids, to be honest with y'all. There is no reason why anybody should be experiencing your love without any conditions unless you birth them. Strictly. You can still love them. You can still have all the love in the world for them. They can't experience it though. And that's just that. They can't experience it, and that's okay. I feel like when you whole and complete with yourself, there is no sort of missing out. That, you know, I feel like that's something else, that a fear of burning bridges with people. That's what keeps people out of being the villain sometimes. The fear of burning bridges. Burn that shit. Burn it. Light it on fire. If it's real, it ain't real. If it's real, you know, I'm not saying if it's real, you know, if it's what you needed, I'm telling you there will be another bridge that forms and will get everything that needs to across. Okay? I ain't saying like you should just be burning bridges willy-nilly. Again, this all comes with discernment. That's something very important. This show is called Intuit-TV. Use your intuition. Use your discernment. Use your compass. Decide on how you're going to do it. Okay? Don't go tell the people Taylor just told you to be a bad person. That ain't what I said. I ain't said nothing like that. I ain't said nothing like that. But sometimes people will perceive you as being the bad guy. Even though it's just you're challenging them. Like you should, I'm not saying you should just be so challenging and so hard to deal with, but you don't ever be afraid to be the challenge. Don't ever be afraid to be the wall that people ain't moving. Especially when you know it's what's right. You know what's right for you and you know it ain't right for you. If you feel it, trust yourself. If that's how you feel, trust it and allow it to properly move you. Allow your discernment to allow the emotions to play their part how they're supposed to. That is what being human is about. This is all an experience. One just big experience. Life is always unfolding. Life is always doing its thing. Life is always unraveling in a way. Even when it feels like we're still and stuck. Even when it feels like nothing's going on or how we want it to go. Hold on and keep riding the tides because it's coming. Okay? I feel like trusting yourself and trusting the way that you feel is the difference in dealing with bullshit, like dealing with the right kind of bullshit. Life comes with bullshit. It is what it is. We can't never escape that. That's just the truth. We can't never get away from certain things because that's just, for some reason, you know, it is what it is. The main thing is allowing yourself to properly flow through it. Release this resistance to these emotions that you have. Release the resistance to standing up. Release that resistance. Allow yourself to be exactly who you are. I feel like there is nothing. The past and the future. The past, you can't change it. The future, you might have some idea what's coming. But, you know, that still is, nothing is set in stone until the stone is set, until it's dry. All you got right now is the present and watching how you pour that stone, how you do it, how the stone looks, how is it shaped. You are the co-creator. Well, I mean, you can just be the creator. I mean, we ain't got to go down that alley of who the other co-creator is. That's just, you know what I mean. This is for everybody, you know. People who are Christian, you know, atheists, Muslims. I feel like this could work for anybody. Buddhists, Hindus. More about Taylor. I was raised the Baptist Christian. That's how I was raised, of course. But I would like to call myself very open. I'm willing to learn and see. I'm always curious. That's another reason why my personality has led me to so many things. I'm a very curious person. I'm willing to learn from anybody who I think could be a good teacher. You never know who could be a good teacher, but I'm always willing to learn wherever I'm at. And I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't gonna do too much. I ain't gonna talk too long. Fuck these people. They gonna be mad regardless. They gonna be mad regardless. They was always gonna be mad. People is mad and miserable when I said, I'm gonna go back to what I just said. Negativity is the easiest thing to come by. It's so easy. That's why it's so easy to find yourself on a negative thought. And like you just, that negative thought just spirals. And now you just feel like a terrible person. You just feel horrible and muddy and gunky and nasty within. Negativity is too easy to come by. Put in the effort and put in the work, you know, to be the full spectrum. Be all of it. Allow yourself to feel the complementary emotions of dark and light, you know. Tell the people how you feel. Tell them you don't like that shit. Tell them no. Tell them I want it just like this. Tell them no, I don't like how you said that. This is how we're going to communicate when it comes down to me. Tell them people exactly what you mean. Do and say and be exactly what you mean. I think somebody's gonna walk in.
What's up, girl?
What's up?
I'm not interrupting.
You good. You good.
Sorry.
I was gonna wrap it up anyway.
You doing a project?
Sure.
There you go, man.
For sure. But yes, you guys, just be your fullest self in a way that people don't like. Because everybody is not supposed to like you. Everybody is not supposed to. If you being yourself, everybody is not supposed to be able to vibe with you. They're just not. And I'm gonna leave it at that. If you're your fullest self, everybody, you shouldn't be loved by everybody. Fuck these people. Bye. You don't even like everybody. I sure don't like all y'all. Well, bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Intuit-TV.